I think about it before, but that is weird. That like, I mean, I wonder was he pissed off? They're like, wow, here's a movie, a huge movie built around short people, and instead of using me, they pick guys who are just kind of short and use CGI to make them short.
I know. He's like, I'm the best dwarf actor out there, and I'm not chosen to be a dwarf in a movie where there are dwarfs.
Unless he's so sensitive that he can't even stand to be called Hobbit. Hobbit number one. God damn it, I am not a Hobbit. That is an offensive term. That's like calling me a gook.
Like, are you 4 feet tall? No. So are hobbits. Okay, we're only calling you a hobbit in the context of film because you are. You are short. Very, very short.
But he's probably like,
I don't think less of you, except in actual, height.
Yeah. So he's probably like, look, hobbits have hairy feet. Okay, look at this shit. This is clean right here. This is clean.
I shave it every day.
I'd be like, I'll call that motherfucker whatever I want. He can't hear me.
But you are right, though. I mean, that's one of the things in this movie that I did not like because you said a note-for-note remake.
Yes.
Do you remember when we saw that movie? Because you and I saw it.
Yeah, we saw it. And to me, you know what? It was like watching, I was like, wow, British comedies are usually smarter than this and not so telegraphed.
Yeah.
And this is just kind of dull.
So I'm not even blaming any of the actors. I'm not blaming the director. I'm not blaming anybody except I'm blaming them for like following that first movie.
Right.
Because the first movie, as we remember it was just too much of a setup for disaster. Like everything was orchestrated to not work just for comedy's sake.
Yeah.
And there was too much slapstick. There was like bathroom humor.
Yeah.
And all those complaints that we have in that movie, well, since this is a note-for-note remake, they apply here.
Man, I had a hard time believing that it could possibly be as telegraphed as this was, because I haven't seen the first movie. I actually turned to Leon at one point, a good 20 minutes before something happened, and described the ending of the film, just sequence for sequence what was going to happen, and I nailed it. I mean, this film was so telegraphed, I'm surprised it wasn't made by Western Union.
Well, I've never seen the movie either, but watching the film, I was like, now I know the white version of this can't be as crazy as this, because it's like after like halfway through it, my brain was about to explode just with all the black foolishness going on the screen. I was like, can they at least let me take a break and breathe? Can I go get a hot dog or something? Because shit, I can't take any more of this comedy. It's like they keep going and going with the jokes until one of them hits. And usually the only time it hits is when Danny Glover pops up on the screen, which he was awesome in this goddamn movie.
I need you to pick up Uncle Russell.
We're gonna be late, Fatty. Oh, damn it, Uncle Russell. I love you, but you're gonna be in the box next.
Cranky old guy.
If there was one, positive, one word one place to use awesome, it would be for Danny Glover.
Yeah.
He stole all his scenes. He was
did.
authentic. And Corey, when you were laughing, I knew why you were laughing, because there's like, that old man is in my family.
Yes.
He reminds me of my dad. He reminds me of some of my uncles. He is authentic.
Your dad is a cool motherfucker, then.
No, I mean, I swear to God, those scenes with him and Tracy Morgan in the movie were sometimes note for note. I hate using that saying again, note for note. Goddammit. But they were me and my dad, even to the point where they had Tracy Morgan had him on the toilet. Mm-hmm. That was me and my dad.
Oh, really?
My hand to get stuck in his ass.
Which I was going to say, until he drops one of the biggest turds in the entire film of a joke.
I know.
You're like, oh, do you have to do that? Do you have to go there?
Oh, yeah.
Does anyone want to see that?
But that's the thing.
Well, it's clearly a cover song. But you know what? This is the funny thing about cover songs. They're better if you take them and do something really different with them.
Well, they did. They had a whole black cast.
I'm sorry. I could do that by adjusting the colors on my televition set.
Corey, going back.
This was the whiz of British comedy.
Corey, going back to the shit joke. I remember you were always telling me your dad's always taking a shit on you, but I thought you were saying it in a metaphorical sense.
Yeah, but not literally, not like in this movie. Where he pretty much fucking melted a fudgesicle on my hand.
I think they must think somewhere that Americans are fecophiliacs or something.
But it was British.
Well,
they did the British version.
Maybe the white people or black people or people who speak English. We'll just say that.
I mean, the only difference.
We love poop. Like, what can you do?
Well, I know. Well, in the original movie, it was the guy shit on a white hand. He washed it. The hand was white again. In this movie, he washed his hand. The hand was still brown.
But this poop joke went on for a good 5 minutes.
Oh, it
was
did.
like they just did not let it go.
Well, I mean, but there's certain things in the movie, like Chris Rock in this movie. I liked him because they made him pull back. He is the guy that has to be the straight man in this movie for most of the time.
True.
And while he's not the greatest actor out there, I mean, he just doesn't have. You know what ruins Chris Rock? His reaction shots. He's got those big eyes. Dude. He keeps rolling those big fucking eyes.
Like the first 10 minutes of that movie where he pops up, looking at him, it's like he was almost transforming or morphing into like one of those ventriloquist dummies where he acts with his shaky head and his eyeballs go left to the right to the left.
You know what? That is true. Chris Rock looks like a ventriloquist dummy.
He does.
looks like
Lester.
Lester, yeah.
Like from Willie Tyler and Lester.
Willie Tyler and Lester, yeah.
He does. And he's wooden as hell. Get it, Leon.
No.
Laughing.
Hey, man, you mean that literally?
The only thing you got to do with Chris Rock is draw 2 lines on his mouth. You will have a dummy. Put him on your lap. You have the best ventriloquist actor in the world.
But he did. You're right. He did pull way back in here, but it's because he's the only straight man in the entire film. Everyone else is mugging like crazy and everything. Even James Marsden's like.
But hey, man, that was the Alan Tudyk role in the first one. And it was, he pretty much played it like it was. I mean, I kind of felt sorry for James Marsden because they clearly told him like, look, just get out there and act like you're high.
Yeah.
And he's like, but I've never been high.
No.
Just do the best you can.
He's a white guy. He's an actor. He said, well, high like what specifically? You'd have to give me some details.
I'm sure they told him, look, just fucking act like Jim Carrey, all right? Just try to do your best impersonation.
But
I think they really got that guy high. Just let him go.
And Luke Wilson's character seemed like he was one way at first, and then they wrote him a different way somewhere in the middle.
Can you be less puffy? No? Okay. All right,
well, that's the problem with the movie. James Marsden, I don't know if they told him to go out there and improvise and just let him go, but there's too much of him mugging in the movie.
Yes.
It's a one-note joke that goes on, and it's never funny.
It really is James Marsden, and really I don't think it's to his fault. It's just him making faces throughout the whole thing.
Crawling like an animal, just being silly.
And the whole thing is only there to set up the final joke, really. It's the only reason it's happening at all in the film.
And then there's other things in there. I mean, you didn't even need certain plot lines. Luke Wilson, you mentioned?
Yeah.
That was
completely
absolutely
unnecessary.
Not needed. Make the movie longer than it needed to be. That could have been taken out. But like I said, there's certain things I did like about the movie. I mean, the movie is throwing so many bad jokes out there that every about, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, I get a chuckle. Not something, not a laugh out loud thing about it, but like a chuckle. And there were a couple of things that I did laugh out loud at, like when Danny Glover kept coming on the screen.
Oh yeah, gold.
Oh yeah.
Every moment. Yeah.
I mean, he was so cranky. God damn it. You fucking idiot. Come here. Take me to the toilet like a shit.
He made a simple word like God damn it just sound really funny. And because when you looked at him, I mean, that motherfucker can act. You believed he was pissed off and irritated. I'm sure he read the script. He's like, fuck. God damn it! I'm sure every time he watched Tracy Morgan try to be funny, each time he jabbed him with that cane, he meant it. He's like, God damn.
Well, I just thought Tracy Morgan wasn't that bad. He was a lot more pulled back than I expected.
Oh, he was only likable because we got to see him constantly getting beaten over the head with a cane
which
by
is why
Danny
he was
Glover.
funny. Yeah.
That's the only reason I liked him even slightly in here. But Danny Glover wasn't having a great time. I mean, you could tell that things weren't happy when there's that single shot of him cut out. You could tell they said, we'll find a place put in here somewhere, where they had to show him going, I'm getting too old for this shit.
Oh, they had to put that in there.
You could see him seething as he said the line.
And
really?
That was the one unfunny moment that he had.
Yeah.
It's like everything else he did was amazing.
But that was an example of the problem with the filmmaking here. And it wasn't blaming him. It was the problem with the filmmakers. There's a lot of shit like that going on here that's just so weak and so badly thought out. I mean, for instance, the movie, it's got all these characters and it tries to set up like little mini arcs for all these characters and what their problem is, will it get resolved? And it doesn't resolve anything in any way that makes sense. They're all cop-out resolutions. Every last one of them is like, well, we don't really have a resolution because this isn't a strong script with well thought out characters, so we'll just have something like, we'll just say it's resolved.
No, it's the kind of movie where they know that for the audience that they want, the audience is not asking very much.
No.
So they're saying, you know what, we're going to let the silliness carry the movie. And really, that's what it is. It's silly. I mean, it's just all this physical comedy. Like you said, I don't know why they won't mention midget or dwarf in this movie, but they'll let that little motherfucker be thrown all across the room. You know, I mean, cause they do so much with that midget. And